There comes a morning. Maybe you've already had it, when the little signs are impossible to ignore. You wake up and swing your legs over the side of the bed, only to feel a stiffness in your knees that wasn't there before. You reach for the cupboard and notice your shoulders feel tighter, heavier. The day ahead stretches out before you, but your body feels like it's running on half a battery. You're not ill, not exactly, but you're not yourself either. It doesn't happen overnight. It creeps in quietly over months or years, so gently that you almost convince yourself it's just part of getting older. You tell yourself that maybe this is the new normal, that joints get achy, energy fades, and you simply have to adjust. But here's the truth I've seen over and over again in my patients. Aging changes your body, yes, but so do your daily choices. And some of the things you've been eating for years, maybe even thinking they're harmless, could be quietly draining your vitality and fueling the aches that keep you from living fully. I'm Dr. Emily Hart, and for over 15 years I've been helping women navigate these changes with clarity, compassion, and practical, science-backed solutions. My goal is to give you not just information, but understanding to help you see the why behind what you feel and the how of making it better. Today, we're going to uncover 3 common foods that can secretly rob women over 60 of energy and joint comfort. These aren't exotic, hard-to-find items. They're often right in your kitchen. And once you know what they do inside your body, you'll understand why even small changes can make a big difference. Before we dive in, I'd love to know where you're joining me from. One of the most beautiful things about this community is seeing women from all over the world, different countries, different backgrounds, coming together to share this stage of life with honesty and strength. So tell me in the comments, and let's celebrate the reach of this circle. Let's start with one of the most common and most underestimated culprits, refined sugar. You already know sugar isn't healthy, but most women underestimate how deeply it affects both energy and joint health. Take Martha, a 72-year-old who came to me feeling constantly drained. By 2 p.m., she felt like she could fall asleep at her kitchen table. And every morning she woke up with stiff knees that made her dread the first few steps of the day. She didn't eat candy or drink soda, so she was baffled. But as we went through her meals, we found the hidden sources: her healthy breakfast cereal, the flavored yogurt she loved, the bottled iced tea she sipped through the afternoon. All together, they added up to a steady drip of refined sugar her body had to manage every day. Here's what happens inside. Sugar causes your blood glucose to spike quickly, and your body responds by releasing insulin to bring it down. That drop after the spike leaves you tired, foggy, and craving more sugar. The classic roller coaster. But sugar doesn't stop there. It also triggers a low-grade inflammatory response in your body. Think of inflammation as a slow, smoldering fire in your joints, gradually wearing down the cartilage that cushions movement. For women over 60, who already have lower estrogen levels, and therefore less natural protection for their joints, that inflammation can be a game changer in the wrong direction. When Martha swapped her flavored yogurt for plain Greek yogurt with berries, replaced her cereal with oatmeal sweetened with cinnamon, and switched her iced tea for water infused with lemon, she noticed 2 major changes within weeks. Her energy stayed steadier throughout the day, and the morning stiffness she had accepted as just age became less pronounced. She hadn't added supplements or medications, just removed a quiet drain on her vitality. The second culprit is something you'll find in most kitchens, often under the label of heart healthy: refined seed oils like soybean oil, corn oil, and sunflower oil. These oils are cheap, widely used in packaged foods, and have been part of the modern diet for decades. The problem is that they're high in omega-6 fatty acids. Your body needs omega-6, but in balance with omega-3s. When omega-6 dominate, they create a pro-inflammatory environment in your body. And as I mentioned earlier, inflammation is the enemy of both energy and joint comfort. Think of your joints like the hinges on a well-used door. If you use the wrong kind of oil on those hinges, one that gums up rather than smooths, they'll become stiff, noisy, and harder to move. That's what happens when the fats in your diet skew heavily toward refined omega-6 oils. Helen, a 67-year-old retired teacher, had been struggling with swelling in her hands that made even holding a coffee cup uncomfortable. She loved baking and cooking for her family, often using vegetable oil because it was inexpensive and what she'd always used. When we replaced her vegetable oil with extra virgin olive oil for most cooking and avocado oil for higher heat dishes, something shifted. Over the course of 2 months, the swelling in her fingers eased, her rings fit more comfortably, and she said her hands felt younger. The science behind this? Olive oil contains compounds called polyphenol that work like natural anti-inflammatories. They don't just lubricate your joints, they actively help calm the processes that make them ache. The third food group is one that's less obvious because it's tied so strongly to tradition and convenience. Processed red meats. Think bacon, sausages, hot dogs, and deli meats like ham or salami. These are often rich in flavor, easy to prepare, and for many people tied to comfort and nostalgia. But they come with a hidden cost. They're high in saturated fats, preservatives like nitrates, and compounds called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These AGEs are formed when meats are processed or cooked at high temperatures, and inside your body, they act a bit like rust on metal, slowly damaging the smooth, flexible surfaces of your joints and blood vessels. Janet, a 70-year-old former tennis player, loved her weekend breakfasts with bacon and her quick weekday lunches with ham sandwiches. She chalked her hip pain up to years on the court, but when she reduced processed meats to once a week and started adding more lean proteins like grilled chicken, wild-caught salmon, and plant-based sources like lentils, she noticed something remarkable. Her hips felt less heavy, her endurance for walking improved, and she even reported sleeping more soundly. It wasn't just about taking away the harmful. It was about replacing it with foods that actively support repair and resilience. I know change can feel daunting, especially when these foods are wrapped in family traditions, memories, and convenience. But this isn't about erasing the past. It's about shaping your future. You don't have to cut everything overnight. Start with one change. If sugar is your weak spot, try swapping out just one source for a better option. If seed oils are in your kitchen, replace the bottle you use most with olive oil. If processed meats are part of your routine, save them for a treat and explore new flavorful proteins. And here's something important. Your body responds to care at every age. I've seen women in their late 70s make small adjustments and feel lighter, stronger, and more mobile within months. Energy returns. Stiffness softens. The joy of movement, of bending, walking, reaching becomes possible again. If this message speaks to you, I'd love it if you gave this video a like. It tells me these conversations matter, and it helps our circle of women grow. Because you deserve to feel heard, informed, and empowered, not dismissed or told to just accept it. You are not too old. You are not broken. And you are absolutely not alone. Every positive change you make is a signal to your body that you still value it, still care for it, and still believe in what it can do. If you found this helpful, subscribe so we can keep walking this journey together. And if someone you love is facing the same fatigue or joint pain, share this video with them. It might be the nudge they need to take their first step toward feeling better. Take care of yourself. You're worth every ounce of that care. I'm Emily Hart, and I'll see you in the next one.